Rachel.
Yeah. Hi, Lindsay.
How are you?
Doing good. Took me a minute to get my sound to work here. All right, good.
Right, I'll give it another minute or two. I know I hopped in a little bit late, so I want to make sure I get everybody on here before I start.
I had a little moment of panic because the today's meeting is at an unusual time,
Yeah.
and I went to click in my calendar and it was gone, and I was like, wait a minute. So I had to go to the calendar.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. This is always I'm so used to that 11 o'clock time on Thursday. So I'm even getting used to this, but we're just doing this while Ignite is running so that
Yeah,
people have
just
the
a
opportunity.
couple weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindsay, can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Oh, good. My volume on my computer has just been like not working half the time, so I never
Oh.
know. But I'm gonna mute myself now.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can hear you loud and clear, so all good.
Cool.
All right.
But you can't see me, right?
I can't see you, no.
Oh.
But you shouldn't be shy, Rachel. I debated whether to get on. I just got back from my walk, so I'm a little.
Is it warmer down in Texas now, Edie, or is
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, definitely. It's today it's 68 here,
Oh, lovely.
sunny and 68. And I went for my walk and I'm like, whoosh.
Yeah.
Although it's not bad there, 40, 45 looks
No,
like.
um I mean, so much of the snow has melted and it's sunny out, at least in Wauwatosa here, but
Yeah,
hey, I'll take it. It
yeah.
was a little
It
slippery still this morning, so it's like
it
still have to be a little cautious.
might have dropped down overnight, huh?
Yeah. All right.
That's way better than 0 or
Yeah.
18
Yeah, I'll
below,
take it.
right?
I mean,
Yeah,
it's only February 1st. I mean, we still got a little
definitely,
ways to go here.
definitely.
Yeah. All right, I think Perry's jumping on. Hey, Perry.
Hey, Lindsay, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Actually, I got Jose in the house with me too.
Hello. I love that we're in the same office. We're just in different areas, right?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, it's 4 minutes past. I will get started here. But I'm doing one of my favorite trainings today, direct mail campaigns, and basically showcasing how you can incorporate, circle prospecting with direct mail. And circle prospecting is basically, reaching out to a certain geographical area and marketing yourself to that area. The most important thing with direct mail, I always say, is to be consistent. So if you choose a particular area to farm, um, you got to be sending them something once a month. It creates that brand awareness. And anytime someone receives your mailers, your postcards, they're going to look at that. They may throw it away right away, but if they do that every single month, once a month, and you've got the same brand and look, and same, headshot and colors and fonts and things like that, they're going to start to register. Oh, hey, this is Rachel. She's a real estate agent. Hey, this is Perry. Like, okay, I see their marketing. I'm, looking at it really briefly. I may throw it away right away, but the moment that they need to buy or sell or invest, or they have a family member, friend who is looking for a real estate agent, they could say, oh, well, I've been getting this person's mailers. Like maybe the next one, I'm actually going to give them a call or refer them to somebody. So that's the whole point of circle prospecting, and direct mail. And one way is it's also very easy to pull mailing lists, whether it's from the MLS tax information. So it's a way for you to go in and say, okay, this is my neighborhood that I want to pull addresses for, or this is a particular neighborhood that I want to farm and I want to, start marketing myself to on a consistent basis. So that's something you can go into the MLS and actually pull those mailing addresses. So that's then a spreadsheet that you can import into your command account. You can tag them with mailer, really whatever you want that to say. And then you can send postcards to that particular group of contacts through command. RPR is another resource, I believe, that you can pull mailing addresses from. So you've got a few different resources where you can actually pull those addresses. The other thing too is you can always just target your family, your friends, just another way to stay in touch with them as well. So I'm gonna kind of go through from start to finish the direct mail campaign process through command. It's a very simple way to send postcards through the system. And it allows you to pull addresses from a map. So it's a great way to circle prospect. It's a great opportunity if you want to market a just listed or just sold. You can do it through command. So I will go ahead and get started here and share my screen. So I'm going to pull up my command account. Here we go. So first things first, I wanted to kind of showcase, one of the ways in which you can request postcards. So if you just sold a property, and you want a just sold postcard, you're more than welcome to create something yourself. But you can also leverage our marketing concierge to create that for you. So on our website, kwrealtymke.com, when you click on the marketing concierge, you're going to see a whole list of options. And if you scroll down a little bit here, you're going to find listing postcard as one of those options. So whether you want to promote a new listing, a just sold, coming soon, open house, most people don't do open house postcards just because of the time frame. But if you needed that just sold postcard, you can always request it through our marketing concierge. So we have some different templates available. These can always be customized, but just gives us an idea of what you're looking for. And it's a really simple process of just selecting the template, entering your contact information, and then of course some of the details pertaining to that property, whether it's the photo that you're uploading, or the address or MLS data sheet. And that way we can grab that information and put together the postcard for you, and then you'll be able to send that out through command. So just wanted to showcase that resource of where you can find, where to actually get a postcard created. And so just to show you kind of the process of walking through requesting this. And I know a lot of people kind of have their own marketing and branding that they like to utilize, which is always a really great idea to have that established. But if you kind of need that leverage and you need something created, this is where you can go in and request that. So we can always include more information like your website, your app download. But of course, we'll need that listing photo to include on the postcard. If the property's in the MLS, uploading that data sheet. And then we'll get all of the information to add to the postcard, the address, the bedroom, bathroom count, listing price, things like that. So obviously that's a required field, and so I don't have anything to upload, but just to kind of show you guys what that looks like in that process of submitting something through the marketing concierge. All right, so I'm going to go back into command here. And if you navigate over to the left-hand side, to create a direct mail campaign, you're going to click on that megaphone icon for campaigns. So this is the section where you can create email campaigns and send those out, paid ad campaigns, or schedule social media posts through Facebook and Instagram. But you'll see direct mail is in here as well. If I click on that tab, it's going to show me everything that I've sent or all of my drafts, which I've got quite a few drafts in here. It's going to show the status, a little bit of a preview, date created, sent, how many I sent it to, and those types of things. So, but to get started, anytime, and again, you can be on this tab or just on the main dashboard. But to get started, you're going to click on Create Campaign in the upper right corner. And then you're going to choose Direct Mail. So a little postage stamp icon. And with any campaign, you're going to enter the campaign name. So maybe I'm sending out a postcard, home valuation. I want to send out a postcard, asking people, what's your home valued at, and kind of get people to hopefully give me a call and request some more information on the value of their home. So it's important to kind of think through the content and what you're sending out. A just sold postcard is pretty straightforward. But you may be sending postcards out that are a little bit more specific to sellers, or to kind of just introduce yourself to a neighborhood, more brand awareness. So there's a lot of different kind of concepts and ideas in terms of what you're actually sending and what's on the postcard. So I can name the campaign, I can choose my goal. The goal really doesn't matter so much, so don't overthink this. For something like this, I would just say brand awareness. If you're sending a just listed, advertising listings, or like a just sold, you want to attract more listings. So it's really just for Keller Williams to know what agents are using this platform for. So once I've named my campaign and I've chosen my goal, I'm going to hit create campaign. So now it's going to bring me to the screen here. And I'm basically going to go through each of these sections until every single one of them is checked off in green. So I've already got my overview. That was the name and my goal. Next up, I'm going to go in and upload my content. So the actual design of my postcard. And you'll see you have two options, either default templates or upload a custom template. Now the default templates, it only gives you a few different ones, and it's kind of a plug and play situation. And so as you select these, you'll kind of see an idea of what they're going to look like. Obviously, I've got to start entering some information here. But you really don't have control over the layout. What you enter here is going to get plugged into a very specific spot. I would say most people choose to upload a custom template. And that's where you can go in and just upload the front and the back of the postcard. So if it's something that we've created through the Marketing Concierge, we will send you the front and the back of that postcard as separate files, as separate PDF files. And then those are what you are able to upload right in here. So I've got a design saved on my desktop that I'm going to use for this training. So I'm just going to hit browse. You'll notice you can also drag and drop a file in here as well. But I'm going to browse, I'm going to go to my desktop, and I know I've got a postcard saved right in here. So here's the front of my postcard. So I'm just going to click on that, and that will upload. And then I'm going to do the same exact thing for the back. And there we go. You'll notice over here I have my preview. So I can preview this. I can switch between the front and the back. So everything looks good. If it uploads like this and it looks like this, then everything is good. If for some reason there's an issue with the size of the postcard, the system will tell you and it will display an error message. Keep in mind that command will allow you to upload 3 different file sizes, and they're listed out right here. So either 4x6, a 6x9, or a 6x11 size postcard. And so it also breaks it out by the width and height in pixels and in inches. So if anyone is utilizing Canva, which I do quite a bit for creating postcards, all of our 12 direct postcards are created in Canva. I am usually designing these the 6.25 by 9.25. So if you're in Canva and you're creating a custom design, these are going to be the dimensions that you're going to be creating that postcard in. That 0.25 is basically just adding that bleed in there for the postcard. And if it's designed in that size, it's going to upload correctly in the campaign. You can also download these postcard templates. This kind of helps when if you are designing something, especially when you're taking a look at the back of that postcard, it'll showcase where to leave blank for the postage, the address, the return label, and things like that. So what that does, it just downloads a new zip file And then you can open that up and view exactly how that postcard's going to look and where to leave blank on the back. So just want to kind of show you that link and what that does. So just to give you some more info though there. Okay, so I'm going to save that. So you'll see that's now checked off in green. The Market Center. So this is essentially the return address that is going to show up on the back of the postcard. So this is going to default to your office address. One thing that I've noticed is sometimes this is all pulling from your marketing profile under that Market Center information. Sometimes people will have a little bit more information here. For example, some people might have like Milwaukee, North Shore. And you'll just notice that if I am over like the character count, it might display that. So it says like you can't have more than 35 characters, but typically I will change this to Keller Williams Realty. Short, simple, to the point. You guys, it really doesn't matter so much what's in that name, just as long as you're not exceeding that 35 character limit. Some people will even put their like home address if they prefer to get these any returned sent to their home address versus the office address. So it's really up to you. There's really not a requirement to it. But just know that that Market Center section is essentially how the postcards will get returned, if there are any. So street address, city, usually it always, even if I save this as a draft and I go back into it, it will require me to still enter that state and zip code just to verify that address every single time. So just keep that in mind if you're like, okay, why does it keep telling me to like verify this, or like it's not saving it? That's just part of the system. I think it just wants you to verify that address every single time you're on the screen. Okay. Next up is targeting. So for targeting, you have two different options. So you either have local targeting or you have Target My Database. So I'm going to start with Target My Database. And so if you have that checked off, all you're going to do is click on Add Contacts. So you'll notice that it'll display your list of contacts. I recently did a database wipe and kind of just added, obviously I was doing some testing with my name, but so I've got a few different versions of myself in here. But it's going to display all of your contacts. And you will notice that if you are missing a mailing address for a contact, it'll display this little icon here. If you hover over that, it'll say, please provide a primary or mailing address. And I will not be able to check those contacts off. The ones that I will have an address and are displayed here as well. You can also search by a contact right up here, or you can filter by tags. So if you are tagging your database a certain way, maybe you have a particular tag for your farm, your geographical farm, or maybe it's past clients or your sphere of influence. That's why I kind of stress the importance of tags. Is it really helps you in these situations when you do want to send a particular mailer or an email out to your database. You can easily then filter by that tag and it pulls up that list. So once you're done selecting those contacts, I'm just going to use myself as an example. It does showcase those contacts that you've added. The other way that you can do this, and this is more so geared towards circle prospecting, when you do have a just listed or a just sold, you don't have to pull in like those mailing addresses from the MLS or RPR. This program does it for you. So it's not like you have to have these contacts and mailing addresses in your database. You'll simply enter in the address of the property that you sold or that you listed. And then the system is going to pull in those addresses surrounding the address you've entered. So I'm entering my address, I'm saving that. You can also do this for if you just want to target your neighborhood. So let's just say like I want to target my neighborhood. I'm going to enter my address in here, and then the system's going to pull in the addresses surrounding my neighborhood. So I'm going to save that. You'll notice everything's checked off. I'm good to go. Budget here, specifically because I'm doing local targeting, I'm not really going to worry about my budget right here. Because that's going to be set on the next screen. That's more so going to be like if you're doing target my database, then that is set. You already determine how many people you're sending this to, and then you're going to see that budget here. Since this is a 4x6 postcard, it only gives me the option for first class mailers, which it will show the price here as well. So that includes everything. That includes the postage, printing, distribution, address labels, all of it. So that is your price per postcard. If you do either a 6x9 or a 6x11 postcard, you will have the option to toggle between either standard mail or first class. All right, so that's good to go. Next thing that I'm going to do is configure targeting. So you will see I can save this as a draft at any point. But I'm going to move forward and configure targeting. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to create this campaign? Yes, I do. So this is going to load, and it's going to load the map view where I'm able to see exactly where it's pinpointing. And I don't know why this got defaulted to 2. I'm going to change that to 200. Typically, that's what the default is. But here I've got my map view, and each of these blue dots is going to indicate a property. And this is where I can get way more specific on the addresses that I'm sending this postcard to. And so what I like to do is utilize this polygon tool right in here. And once I click on that, I'm able to just start going in and selecting the area I'm targeting. So just for an example, like this is my neighborhood, and I know that like if I just want to target a very specific neighborhood, I'm just going to target this section right here. And this one's pretty easy because it's basically just this rectangle. But I'm eliminating some of these farmhouses over here. This is a completely separate neighborhood. So I'm being really specific with just targeting the Greystone neighborhood. Like you can always kind of expand this out. So maybe I'm like, okay, well, like maybe I want to target a little bit more than 145 houses. Maybe I'll kind of expand this into this subdivision here. And I can just easily click and drag these little dots here to expand that radius. So you can get really specific. It's very user friendly in terms of like how you're manipulating this. And there we go. You'll notice, so every little blue dot, like I said, indicates a property. If I hover over that, I can actually see the specific address, the year it was last sold. I've worked with some agents who do direct mail campaigns, and maybe they're targeting their neighborhood, and they know that another real estate agent lives down the road from them. Well, they'll go in and hover over their address, and you can remove them. So if you don't want them to receive your marketing, you don't have to send that to them. So you can actually go in and remove them. You'll also notice that there are some of these blue dots are showing up with a 2. That means that these are actually side-by-side condos. So any condo units are gonna showcase one blue dot with like a number on them based on how many units are in that building, essentially. So I know that these are all side-by-side condos right over here, and then there's a little bit of a cluster over here. One thing with condos, unfortunately, is it's an all or nothing. So you can't go in and just exclude one unit. You would be excluding all of them. So that is one thing that you cannot do with condos is remove just one unit. So keep that in mind if you were looking to do something like that. But then I can always reset this. So I've got this little X right up there that resets it back to that 200 number. And then if I, kind of want to redo that polygon, I've also got draw. So I can do it something like this too. So totally up to you on what you prefer to utilize. And then over here on the left-hand side, I've got some more targeting options as well. So I can either set the number of homes that I want to target. I can choose whether I'm targeting specifically single family homes or multifamily. If I checked off single family, I believe that will remove those condo units. Yep, so it did. Maybe I'll set that back to all. So now those are back in there. I can also get specific with, homes with a certain bedroom count, square footage, year built, last sold. So if you want to be a little bit more strategic in these mailers, you could maybe target a neighborhood and say, okay, I want to target homes that haven't sold since, 2010, or, whatever time frame you want. Last sold for. So if you're looking to target homes in a certain price range, same thing. You can manipulate this little toggle over here. All right. And then you also have the option to send a copy to the company address. So really whatever address you have listed as that return address, it will send a copy to, so that you get one physically in hand as well. If you are targeting your neighborhood and you live in that neighborhood, then you would just get one because you're targeting yourself. So a couple different ways on if you wanted to actually receive that also. All right. Does anyone have any questions on the campaign so far? Feel free to unmute.
I have a question, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Um, how do you know if there is another realtor that lives in your neighborhood? Do you just have to know by
You would
conversation?
you would just have to know, if you've conversed with them, or you just, maybe you get their mailers if
Yeah.
they're like targeting your neighborhood too. But I think that's just something where, you've either heard that someone lives down the street from you, or you've met them in person, and you just, that would just be, you'd have to know that information.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the system does not say, oh, a realtor lives here. I mean, that'd be really nice, but
It was,
it's not that smart. Any other questions, you guys? All right.
one more. I have one more
Yeah.
question. What if you wanted to call on that circle prospecting area? How do we get phone numbers for these people who live at these addresses?
So the capabilities through this system are just the mailing addresses. It doesn't include phone numbers. This is strictly a mailing system through command. If you were looking for phone numbers, that would be a matter of kind of utilizing some other programs. Um, I'm not sure if RPR includes like phone numbers and email addresses. That might be a good resource. I don't know if anyone else on the call has more info than I do on that system. Fast People Search is another free online tool that if you have names, which you can get through, the MLS tax information, that will pull in more emails and phone numbers for those people. So that's just a couple of resources. Unfortunately, it's not specifically through this platform. This is strictly mailing addresses.
Hey, Lindsay,
Yeah.
can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Hi, it's
Yeah.
Rachel. So, I have, I think when it comes to calling, I think a lot of agents buy lists or do those dialers because there's not an easy or quick way to, in this or an RPR or basically in anything, there's no quick way. You just have to look it up, or you can buy those lists or get a dialer. So if that's
Yeah.
something that you're going to be phoning a lot, somebody to talk to about that would be Jeff Nevin or Joe Singsheim.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perfect. No, thank you for that input. Yeah, I've heard of a few people buying lists. Because obviously like you want to make sure that you're not violating any do not call lists like that. And
Yeah. And in
obviously
RPR, just an FYI, in RPR, they do have now there is a box you can check when you're doing a map search and producing mailing labels that will allow you to like check the people who have do not mailing addresses and things
Oh,
like that.
okay.
So for
Oh,
direct
nice.
mail, it's an option. I don't know if it's already scrubbed. I'm assuming it is in Keller Williams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the company that's integrated within Command is called Real Mailers. So it's a legit company. I think they're down in Texas, but they're the ones who are actually um uh distributing like the technology and the information, the addresses through the platform here, and then they're the ones printing and distributing
All
the
right.
postcards. And if anyone's interested in like seeing examples of what like the postcard quality looks like, I do have like a marketing board set up in every market center, with some examples. So hopefully there's still postcards, at each of those marketing boards. But that's also how, a lot of people will send out like the 12 direct postcards, with more of that local information, coming up brewer schedules, farmers markets. So a lot of those things that I talk about like throughout the year with that local content. So those are usually postcards that people are sending out through this platform too. All right. Just to show you guys how to finish this up. So when you click on next, once you're satisfied with the addresses that are pulling in and that number, you will get this final preview. So this is always a really important preview to double check, because this is going to showcase where that return address is placed, the postage, and the actual address. So you just want to make sure that nothing's getting cut off, because this is essentially like a white box here. So sometimes I've uploaded designs in here and I notice like, oh, that white box is cutting off, some of my content over here, or I've got to move this over, I've got to move that up. So you really just want to make sure that you're leaving this bottom right corner blank, because that's where all of this information populates. You can also view a larger preview. So that's just going to open up the preview as a PDF right in here. So that's always just a nice, final review before you submit payment and send these out. And then you do get that order summary. It does give you some information based on, when you're sending this out and how it's distributed. So same day processing, if you submit an order before 3 p.m. on a business day, your mailers will go to production that same day, in a fulfillment center nearest to your target area. USPS distribution, your cards will be inserted into USPS mail stream within 2 business days. So again, this is first class. Standard mail is going to be a little bit different, but then mailers are estimated to arrive in mailboxes in 4 to 6 business days. So that's typically, if it's first class, think of it 4 to 6 business days when they hit inboxes. And you do receive email notifications on, whether once it's received, and once they're sent out as well. But then all you have to do, sorry, just moving my Zoom toolbar, submit your email and your credit card number, and that's it. One final option that you do have is you can schedule this for a later date. So if you click on that, you'll get a little calendar date option here. And I can go in and say maybe, my listing isn't going live until the 19th or whatever date. And so I can select, maybe I'm going to send that out on the 16th or something like that. So you can get a little bit more specific and plan this out a little bit more in advance by utilizing that scheduling date. But otherwise, you can just send it out now. You can kind of toggle between both of those options here. And again, email, credit card, make a payment, and you're done. And that's it. You don't have to do anything else. The company who's, kind of in the background here is doing everything else for you. And you, again, will get notified of those updates as well.
Lindsay, I'm sorry if you went over this already, but can you just do a quick showing of where you click to get to the Google Drive with like the 2024 events and things?
Yes.
Thanks.
No, I did not go through that. I just went through the marketing concierge. So I will show you guys where you can grab some of those, the grab and go materials. Before I do that, I know I mentioned the 12 direct campaign. with that local content. So that is also in the marketing concierge, and that's strictly for if you need the backs of those postcards customized, kind of showcasing how that's going to look like. This was actually the beer garden postcard we created last year. And that's just a form indicating that you are requesting your own personal information on the backs of those postcards. Because then if I click into our agent hub, that is going to be under the tech and marketing resources. We have marketing assets. So this is that Google Drive folder where if you want just some of those grab and go materials, we do have those 12 direct postcard campaigns. And I have it broken out by PDF documents as well as PNG files as well. So the PNG files, those are for social media. If you want to embed that into an email campaign.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So social media, just grab and go. I know skating rinks, some of the winter festivals are already kind of done and over with. And then we will be coming out with brewer schedule, hiking trails, some Valentine's Day stuff. So more to come very soon. I know it's been about a month since we released some new content, so they're coming. But yeah, so these PNG files are ready to just click into, download them, and utilize them however you so choose.
Okay.
The
Will we
P-
be notified because I'm just trying to set up my entire
yeah.
year. And I was just wondering because last year I did a farmer's market and I
Mhm.
did another like fall festival. I
Yeah.
really liked those and I just
Mhm.
wanted to know
Yeah.
if we're going
So
to have something for 2024 soon.
so basically, everything that you see here, or even
Yeah.
if you click into like 2023, like some of these
Yeah.
older ones, I pretty much do the same ones every year, maybe
Oh,
plus or minus one or two. So like this was the ice skating one right last year. This was, farmers markets. So yeah, farmers markets every single year. That's a really popular one. It's a great one because like they span from May to October. But you will always hear me talking about new ones on team meetings. I usually like to post those on our Facebook channels as well, just saying, hey, these are now available with links to, where you can grab them.
awesome.
So you'll always see those. I'll be announcing them. And if you're ever like, hey, did I
Cool.
miss one? Like it's May and I still don't see the farmer's market, you can always shoot me an email and ask for like status on some of these. It's always a matter of I'm waiting on dates for a lot of it.
Yeah, I understand
So
that for sure.
yeah. So, um, obviously I want to just make sure that something at an event is still going on for this year and the dates and the times and things like that. So, that's typically what the holdup is on some of these. Yeah, so basically all of these I try and do every year. Yeah, apple orchards, I've done every single year, Christmas tree farms, holiday lights I just did the last couple of years, but that's usually a popular one. But yeah,
Cool. Thank you so much.
yeah. And then we do have some holiday posts. So I just updated this today actually. So here are just some new holiday posts and they're social media posts. So feel free to kind of grab these and utilize them
Oh,
however you so choose. And you can still use 2023 too. They're not year specific, like they don't have the year on them. So I kind of just organized them that way, but those are in there as well. And then also the MLS market update. So these are social media posts. Of course, it's alphabetical, so it's not trying to find December. It's in there somewhere. Maybe not. Thought I did it. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. Anyway, so yeah, those are just those grab and go materials. So yeah, postcards are in there. But yeah, any other questions on the direct mail campaigns? I'm gonna stop my share so I can see everybody.
So you said for the email, which would we use, the PDF or the PNG if we want to email those?
The PNG.
PNG.
Keep in mind, I've already created the email smart plan for all of those.
Okay.
So they're in the smart plan library. So if you are looking for a particular one, I can help direct you to where you can find it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, every 12 direct campaign will be, you can send out as a postcard, you can post it to social media, or you can email it through command. So, yeah. All right. Well, that's all I had for today. Any last questions? Otherwise, giving you about 20 minutes back. All right,
Thanks a
guys.
lot, Lindsay.
Yeah, of
Bye,
course.
everyone.
Awesome.
Thanks
Thank you,
for-
Lindsay.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Have a great day.
Thanks,
You
Lindsay.
too.
Bye.